budget in your mind. What?
Do you have a packet?
Yeah.
Or an extra one?
Do you have a pen I can borrow? Yeah? Okay. We are
When
we
I'm
are
in that
live.
setting.
We are
People are
live.
like,
Okay.
wait,
Hello.
you are
Hello.
close.
All right.
Hello.
Let's kick off this meeting. A call to order, and let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. So, right over here. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so we have two people in the audience. Can you say your name just for our recording secretary, please?
Sure. I'm Noah Levitt. And I'm David Elsie.
Okay, did either of you want to speak or say anything?
Nothing to say. We're both running for library trustee.
Well, that's good.
Probably all that needs to be said is in person.
Yeah, so I'm running. I've watched online for a while, so but thought it would be good to come in person and just excited to sit here and watch it.
Okay, well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so can everyone receive the minutes in the mail? Can we vote to approve the minutes of the January 8th meeting? I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Thank you, Natalie. A second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jess. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Or any opposed? Motion carried. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask if anyone had any comments, but I guess not since you all approved it. Okay, the trustees report. I do have some stuff under new business, so I'm going to table that until the end of the meeting. So let's go right to the treasurer. Jess?
Or no, Natalie.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going back to last year.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you are. Okay, so if you remember last month, we did not have the statement out, so we have to do. I'll give this to you for Julie. Okay.
All right.
So you don't have to bother writing it all down. But anyway, we have to do the November to December. So it'll be November 29th to December 31st. Our beginning balance was $644,390.02. We had income of $4,048.47. We did go down, so we had a change in value of $17,345.94. So our ending balance was $631,092.55. So that is the November to December 2024. So.
Okay, can we have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Any second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Natalie, did you have any report back from our investment people with regards to what the market is doing with regards to the losses that took place?
Not that particular loss, no. It was just, I think it was
Routine
just
stuff?
yeah. It wasn't any more than other months when it's been down.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, so all in favor of accepting?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, so now the December 31st to January 31st of 2025. So December 31st, 2024 to 25. The beginning balance was the $631,092.55. We did have some income of $93.92, some expenses of $1,556.10, and then we had a change in value up of $10,908.66. So we're at $640,539.03
Okay,
is our ending balance for January 31st.
thank you. Can I get a motion to accept?
So moved.
Thank you. Charles, second?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Any discussion?
Okay,
I
thank
would
you.
just like to say, Natalie, congratulations on the $10,000 upgrade.
Yes, it was all me.
Your brilliant management of the portfolio
Yes.
shined through. I appreciate
Yes.
it very much.
Thank you.
All in favor,
All in
all
favor?
in favor, say aye.
Yep, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, so we're up to date on treasurer stuff.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, you tell me what to do.
Oh, tell you what to do. Okay, director's report. Can we get your report, please?
Yes, yes, you can. Does anybody have any questions or comments on the written report before I talk about my multiple other things that have come up since then, or that I forgot to put in?
Do you have a copy of the budget that you are submitting to the town?
That is a good question. Did I not already give you that? Oh. Well, actually, I don't have it. I don't have it
Okay.
right now because one of the things that I was going to bring up today too was so the first meeting is just, you know, here's what where we think we're going to be,
Yeah.
and like where we think we were at. And I found out on Tuesday that it looks like the town is going to have a $500,000 deficit for next year. This year was a $2 million deficit, right? So 500,000 seems great in comparison. But we did have to have a cut, like not a big
Yeah.
cut, but a cut last year. So right now I don't know what that's going to look like yet. So I don't want to give you anything until I know. So that's all getting worked out through the weeds
Okay.
right now, so we'll hear more about that soon. But I just found out on Tuesday that there will probably be some more
Okay.
mixing up. But I will bring what I've got though next month for sure. And by next month we should know for sure, right? Because it'll be getting presented as I put in the packet. So that's March 15th will be the select board's review of the budgets. So that's that wonderful all-day Saturday affair. And usually we get lucky and get to go on first or in the first hour or so. So hopefully that will still be the same schedule. We can be in and out that day. But hopefully we'll know really soon if there's going to be a cut that we need to account for. But the budget, when I last saw the potential budget, was, more than covering our needs. So it was good. It was a good budget. Last year it was very easy to take the cut that they were having and take that out of our materials budget because we were way above what we needed to for materials. But that would be hard to do now, to take it out of that again. So we'd have to pick out of somewhere else, depending how much it is. And then, of course, it's all going to depend on how much it is. The good thing is, even if we have to take a town budget cut, the easiest thing is to still take it out of materials in some ways, because we are allowed to supplement that with our state aid money or trust fund money, friends money, it doesn't matter. So we can always make up that materials budget was required to spend a certain amount, by the state law, or not law, but exactly, but it is it's sort of the state law. But we do have to spend a certain required amount of money, and so we can make any of that up with other fund. We're lucky enough to have other funding sources if it comes to that. So that's usually the easiest place, because we don't want to cut obviously people, and then it would be harder to cut from other areas. But hopefully, maybe they'll just say, the library's budget's already so small, we don't need to cut anything from that. We'll see how that goes. Though they could, because we are one of the smallest budgets in town, so.
It's what, 1% or something
Yeah.
like that of the overall?
Yeah, it's 1.2% or something crazy. I think only the senior center and maybe one other thing has a smaller budget, so. But, yeah.
Okay.
What else? Any other questions or comments before I tell you all the other things? No. No.
Nope.
All right. So all the other things that I wanted to mention. So we did finally get the lights done on the 3rd floor, which was very exciting after months and months of asking. And I badgered Rob Deaver about it. And then I said, give me as much notice as possible. And they gave me 2 days notice. And then I was like, ah! But they did all the lights that they could do. I've been told it's a much larger project than they were anticipating to fully retrofit all of the lighting. So that's going to take, but they did replace everything they could. So there are no big, giant, dark swaths in the 3rd floor anymore, so which was a big problem. And I did have Mark, who's works for the DPW and does the electric work, he came in and did a big walk around and counted all the lights that were out around the rest of the building. Because I'm like, what are you doing? And he was very forthright. He's like, and talking about, it'll next, like, we need to do the ground floor with all the lights that are down there that are out, and then the 1st floor has a lot of lights out as well. But it's right now it's still very workable. There's no like swaths of lights. It's not darkness, and the 1st floor is very bright already. But I have like 3 lights out in my office, and it's fine. But unless it's a really dreary day, and then you're kind of like, I'm noticing I don't have as many lights as possible. Yeah, there you go. I have a new lamp on my desk for that. So that was a big relief that the lights got done. So that was really great. The Friends just added a brand new program, which is an oral history program. So how to do oral history. It's an oral history workshop. It's limited to 20 people. So that's going to be on March 4th from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. So they just added that. So that looks really interesting and cool. So that's a new program that we just put in the calendar. Everybody's been out sick. So been having it like every day. I had 5 people out yesterday, 2 people out today. I think I had like another 3 or 4 people out on Monday. It's so everybody wash your hands a lot. I'm just saying everybody's mine are so super dry. So just it's going around. Legislative breakfasts. So both Ken and Julie actually came to the library legislative breakfast that was in Marblehead last Friday. So I was glad to see them there. There's a really good turnout. And the Marblehead Library is actually a really nice model because it's an 1872 building, and this past year they completely renovated it. So it looks very modern inside, and they actually have a fireplace with like burning wood fireplace. I was like, what is this?
How do they have that?
I don't know, but they do. And it was burning a fire. It was amazing. But the representative, Jennifer Armini, was there, and so she gave a speech. So she was just highlighting that at this point in time, they're trying to level fund the state budget as far as the library lines are concerned, which is, they've seen increases over the last few years. Of course, there's always increases we're trying to get, but that's not where we're looking that we're at. Right now it's a level funding. We'll see. Everything, of course, has to go through the process. But she, did mention that right now, the federal government right now is a wild card because they are trying to do cost savings measures, and they're freezing a lot of funding. And some of those funding lines are library lines that do, filter down to the states. So they are quite concerned about losing their federal partner in, some of these arenas. So we don't know what funding will look like from the federal government, which of course then affects what the state has and then what the state's able to give us. So again, big wild card, but she did, talk a lot about that. As well. So that was, but it was a really great day, and I said there was a really great turnout, and I'm going to be going to the one that's also in Andover in March. So there's lots of them. They're all over the state for the next month and a half or two, but they're really good events to attend. and just kind of hear about what's going on for libraries in the state. And there's like nice, they'd put together a really nice little video from all the different libraries in the consortium that were kind of highlighting different things that the libraries were doing. So it was really nice. All right, just talked about the town budget. The town manager update that we just got was, I guess they had 20 candidates for town manager, which is great. And so they are looking by mid-March to hopefully have narrowed it down to somebody. That's their goal, their hopeful goal. But of course, they're not expecting that someone will be on board until, April sometime, right? Which of course is the end of our budget cycle. So we'll as a family get through the budget cycle, and then the new town manager will be on board for a fresh new year and budget. And as they had termed it, it was a keep the lights on year here in town. So that should be good as well. Children's room. So Amy in the children's department has been going bonkers, liking to pull statistics. And she gave this to me literally today, so I did not include it in anything. But she's doing comparisons from like 2018 to now, and there's a lot of chat out there in the world saying like kids don't read anymore, like nobody's reading, it's all terrible. But she's like, Danvers kids are reading more than they ever had. So she has like from 2018 her total, so 2018 for checkouts, so she's talking about book checkouts really, it was 78,380 checkouts in the children's department in 2018, and in 2024 it was 113,866. Yeah, so that's a really big jump up. And like right now, I mean, our children's department's just killing it, right? They're doing a great job. They're really bringing people in and doing great programming and buying like really great materials. So so that's really good. But even though that's like a big span of 6-year period to look at, I mean, the pandemic was in the middle there, so it's hard to count any of the pandemic times. So that's just like a good big old thumbs up going on with that.
I got locked out of some of the children's room programming for February vacation, and I'm weighing whether to exert my influence.
Did you do your ethics training?
Jokes, only jokes. But maybe if there's a wait list, we'll be.
Yes, what I always say this, is always do a wait list if there's a wait list, because people always cancel or don't show up.
Of course,
and sometimes I would always say, like, even if you're on the wait list and no one's called you and say to come in, like, if your kids can stand it, come and hover around anyway, because a lot of times just people don't show up, and then they'll be like, oh, we can take you in.
Plenty else to do in the children's room, and we always enjoy our visits regardless of whether we get off the list. But yeah, lots of fabulous programming going on in the children's room. Popular.
Yes, there's lots of great stuff going on as well. So those are my big things, and I said I'm not going to talk about those things. So those are my extras. Those are all my extras that I had for going on tonight. I don't think I have anything else. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
Madam Chair, if I might.
Yes.
When you requested some agenda items, and then I forwarded my.
Oh, I didn't see one. I missed it. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I thought I sent it to you.
Oh, I didn't. I honestly, I didn't see anything come back.
When you requested some agenda items.
Yeah.
If I might.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry
No,
if I missed it. I apologize.
I looked and I made sure. I even brought my glasses, but I was wondering about when you have more and more incidents in society and locally with our security system. We have a nice camera system.
Yep.
Has it been upgraded recently? Has it been inspected recently? Have we checked them to make sure they're all working properly?
Yes. So the town IT is the one who has the, I don't know what you call it, ownership sort of the system of like the so they're like the software is installed on the town servers and not like a library server. But the company did actually do a recent upgrade of the system, and so there's a new interface to be able to look at. Actually, it's much easier. I've looked at it recently. I looked at it for another funny reason recently, but it's much more user intuitive to be able to look at the different cameras and everything. So so everything's working right now as far as I can tell. And say like the system did get upgraded recently, and the town did just switch as far as like these building security systems, not just the cameras, to a new alarm company or security company, which is called First Alarm. So we had SOS for a long time, and they literally just switched over. So I did meet the technician, came in the end of January, and I did meet him and show him like where they switched things over to that new system, which doesn't look like anything's changing, like really meaningfully, but they do.
Do you have
a
the
new one.
ability in your office to look at something to see the different cameras if
Yep.
you need to?
Yes, yeah. So I have that software. It's everything's in the cloud now anyway. But so I have the ability to log in and look at any of the cameras. Yes.
Is the vendor still SOS Security? Are they the ones that still have
No,
the contract?
no. So the cameras are. So the software is. I always get the name. I want to say it's a Viglion. I think that's right. Is the name of the camera software, and so then anything that goes on with the cameras, like the IT department actually in town are the ones. So if they're the ones who are noting if a camera goes out or something like that, then they take care of it.
And what about the panic buttons?
So the panic buttons are still under
have them?
SOS. Yep, but everybody has one. Those are all working. We had the batteries changed, within the last 6 months or so. And then we had some brand new ones as well that we had gotten. So I actually need to get another order of some brand new ones, just because I like to have extras. I like to have extras just in case something happens to someone's. So that's I have to do that sometime
One other
soon.
thing that it's been talked about before, and with past directors, we had a lot of signs at one time, then we had none.
Yeah.
In the library, and I've been trying to revisit that where. In an emergency situation, people need to know where they are. The problem with school shootings like Columbine was the kids were calling, but they didn't know where they were, what room they were in.
Mm-hmm.
So something simple like you're in room 1, you're in room 2, you're in room 3. So in the event, God forbid, that something happened at our library, if people call and they say that the library, okay, but where are you? I don't know. So maybe something simple like you're in room 1, or at least the standing room, they know where they are. Children's room, they know where they are. But I just brought that up. I mean, just
We talked
something.
about this before,
Yeah.
like a
The
year or two
signage.
ago or something
Yeah.
like that. And I talked to the police and the fire departments about that. They have their own. That is something they do not want us to do.
Oh no, I'm just
Yeah.
saying like you could have something stand up. You're in room 1. In other words,
Wasn't there a
If-
recent
For the
discussion
signage,
about the wayfinding from the accessibility
Yes, yeah.
commission?
So yes, I'm actually working with a signage company on putting wayfinding signage in the building, which should help with that as well. But I mean, most people, I can't say, I don't know, most people would say, most people are going to know what floor they're on. The floors are all very small in actuality. When you're on the floor, there's not, if you're on the second floor, you're not in separate spaces, right? It's just one big space. The same with the third floor as well. And it's really the ground floor and the first floor where you have some more separated spaces. That would make it a little bit better.
I'm only thinking safety for the customer, for the patron, and something simple like if they're in the reading room, or at least they know where they are in the event something happened. That's all.
Yep. Oh, no, I hear you.
Thank,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure, of course.
If I could also just mention
Yes,
that I'm
go.
so happy to see that the Friends are presenting this music from the Black South on February 22nd.
Yes.
And so I'm saying that they hear, so it's the music for many occasions, a subset of the Boston Pups Gospel Choir will present a program of music of history from the civil rights movement, highlighting the role of the 1960s freedom riders in fight for voting rights. And since this is Black History Month, I just want to say that if you like Pete Seeger, if you like Joan Baez, if you like Bob Dylan, if you like, let's see, who else can I throw in there? Willie Nelson. This is all music that contributed to what happened in this country during the 60s, where a vibrant time in our history. And this music is absolutely fantastic. And so I just want to encourage folks that if you have roots in the South, or if you know folks who've been to the South, or if you're a freedom rider yourself, I'm old enough to say that I fall in that category. But certainly I just think it will be a lot of fun and people should come out. And thank you very much for putting that out there, and congratulations to the Friends for putting this on.
They're really trying to get some really good programming in, and so I was really excited that they were pursuing that, and it's very different too. Like, I thought it was like a really different program, so I think that's great too. Yeah. I knew you'd like that one.
Thank you, Charles.
Music
Anybody
for
else?
all occasions.
Anyone else have anything to say or ask? Okay.
I rest my case.
You are done. All right, then we can move on to old business. So this fell through the cracks somehow, but we were supposed to send out a copy so everybody could look at it and we could discuss it. So unfortunately, we're going to have to table that till next month, and I'll get with you to make sure that goes out.
Yep.
In a timely manner this time. So everyone will have a copy so we can discuss it or vote on it.
Just say what you were talking about.
I know, I was going to say, what is it you're
Oh.
referring to?
The tuition reimbursement scholarship policy update. We were supposed to send the final copy of that out for everybody to look at and, then come back and discuss it tonight. And everybody would be able to participate in the conversation because they would have had it ahead of time to read it. We failed to get that out to everybody, so that will be coming out this month, sooner than later. So look for that in your mail. And we will vote on it next month. We were still going to take care of all of our employees. If anyone is taking a class, we're not going to let that fall through the cracks because we haven't updated this yet. So we will still continue doing what we've been doing, but we do need to get the new policy done. And new business, the investment update. I called Cornerstone because I don't like when I hear lots of money going out either. Yes, we did get quite a bit of it back, but I have talked to them about how our investments are being made, because we really do have an endowment. It's not as if it's our personal money or my personal money and I'm ready to retire. This is an endowment that we want going on as long as it can. There may come a time that it dwindles down, but while we have enough money, we'd like to be able to live off the earnings of that money to kind of keep it going almost indefinitely is what I'd like, or at least till I'm long gone out of here. So when I called them, we cannot make any changes until we update the bylaws and operating procedures for the investment committee, and there is a copy of that in the packet that you have tonight. So I've already talked with Jess, and Kenley and I are going to get together just to update this bylaws and operating procedures, because Cornerstone can't make any changes until this is done. So we should have that hopefully, well, maybe when we send out, as soon as we get that done, I will send that out. Hopefully we can get it done early enough that we can talk about it at the next meeting. So
Where did this come from? Because this is something, and Mike, I don't know what you think because you've been around a long time too, Charles. When the last time we had a committee, it was a while ago, right? It was you, Rick Betancourt, Charles, correct? And
he was on one of them.
that was the only one we've ever had. It's in the last 12 years I've been on the board. And
I think Frank Hershey was on
and I
there.
think Frank. So I think the four of you, right? Frank was the treasurer, you were the chair, and then Rick Betancourt and Charles were just from the board.
It says the committee shall consist of the treasurer, assistant treasurer, and chair of the board of trustees. So I did not occupy, I mean, I'm not sure, I did, in
So
a
this
previous
is-
iteration, I was on this.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is my point, I think.
Right.
When we did that committee, this is the first I've seen this document. I don't know what this is. And so when we had the committee prior, when we were going to make some changes, or when I think we were getting ready to make some changes, or to see if we were going to make some changes, and the four of you went and met, and then they came back and sat with us. I do not know what this document is. Where did you get this from, Donna?
From
The
me.
library files. Yeah.
So, yeah, Donna asked me if I had anything in regards to the investment, or if there's an investment strategy, and I was like, I don't know. But I went through all of the files that I had that got left to me, and I found kind of tucked in the back of a folder of the George Peabody
Under the bed,
Society.
kind of under the bed.
Yeah, kind of under the bed was this bylaws and operating procedures, as well as like the investment strategy that was developed with Cornerstone. And so I said, Donna, I actually found, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I did actually find it.
Yeah, look for it anyways. Yeah, so when I called Cornerstone, they told me what they would advise us to do, what most other endowments do, and we're not quite doing that. We're more conservative. So we haven't been able to take advantage of the ups when they're up, and we have a lot of conservative funds anyway, so we're pretty good in that, but I'd like to modify it. So with the first thing, they will not change this, which they created. As a result of this being created and giving them guidelines, they created this, but we can't change this until we update this. So,
Okay.
Sorry, just for clarity for the notes. Cornerstone is saying that they cannot change our investment strategy until we update the bylaws and operating procedures
yes,
for the investment
we have
committee?
that has to be addressed through here. And we no longer have an assistant treasurer. There's a couple of things that we need to update in this.
So we not only need to update the bylaws and operating procedures for the investment committee, but then we need to establish an investment committee who
yes.
will then authorize Cornerstone
Meet
to
with
make changes
Cornerstone,
to our.
Yeah, and then this can be updated, if we so choose.
Well, and
under-
actually, according to this, the committee's already spelled
Yeah.
out, so.
Well,
Right. Yeah.
And I would recommend leaving it like that, because it doesn't make any sense to have,
we have no assistant treasurer
well,
anymore.
right, so you could get rid of that, but, I mean, treasurer, you could say, chair and maybe vice chair or something,
Yeah, but-
or a board member,
But
but.
we're gonna just go through it because it was a while ago, and like you said, you never saw it and you were on the committee, so.
Well, I wasn't on that. I wasn't on the investment committee
Okay.
that we had established
one. All
back
right.
many years ago.
So is that the second document that you have, is that the result of this,
Yes.
of that? Okay.
This was done back then, so,
That's the
But that's
strategy.
the one that have you seen the second paper that she has?
haven't sent this
Okay.
out to anybody.
No, I'm just saying, like, I didn't know if that was what you guys worked on. or
Yeah,
if it was
no, this Cornerstone created, based on what they were,
What these guys talked about.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
How,
then they came up with
how
this.
has it been determined that these bylaws and operating procedures are out of date? Just because
Well-
they expire, or?
That's what I just wanna,
So
it
when
won't
we,
take
so
long.
when,
That's a good point.
it was a few years ago, we updated who was on the committee.
Mhm.
So it was we had I think there was like 5 spots or 6 spots on the main,
Investment committee?
There was like no, there's a treasurer, assistant treasurer, chair, vice chair, assistant.
The board positions.
You know, the
You're,
all
yeah,
board
you're
positions.
talking about the board
Right, yeah,
positions,
I'm-
not
right, I'm
investment
sorry, I
positions.
thought-
Yeah, okay.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I was wondering about this document that Noelle found. How
It
is
probably
So it's not
isn't-
dated. We don't even know, like, there's no date on here. We have no idea.
Why don't we invite, Madam Chair, why don't we invite them to the next meeting and find out what their concerns are, and then we can hear from them all as a board, and then we can decide what action we should take from there.
Who though?
Cornerstone, you mean?
Cause I can tell you this
Cornerstone?
has to be done first, and then we can bring them in.
Well,
we wanna
I
know
hear what you're
But
saying,
that's the whole
they-
point of
but we
having a
don't know what
finance
we-
committee.
we don't know what we need to change
Yeah.
Because we're just guessing right now.
No, we're not guessing anything because we're not talking about investment strategies. We're talking about the bylaws and operating procedures. We're not talking about the investment strategies yet.
So once this is updated, then that committee can
Exactly.
because they can't. In order
Yeah,
for
I
Cornerstone.
just want what they want updated. I mean, there's.
I think it was more the who's
Not
involved
the
in
policy
committee.
statement, which I don't think you have in this package. We're just talking about the bylaws and operating procedures. And there's just
So-
gonna be 3 of us looking at that. We're gonna take out things that no longer exist.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this
That we
probably
have
isn't
a
gonna take
lot
a
of
lot,
people.
and then we can come back to the committee, and absolutely, we can have them come back, but we're not to that point
Okay.
yet. We
I
just
was
need
missing
to-
that part with the subcommittee. Okay.
Yeah.
Yourself
I get that.
and Ken and Jessica are going to form a subcommittee for
We're just
updating the
the
investment
bylaws and
committee.
operating procedures for the investment committee. Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
a committee to create a committee.
We're updating this.
It's called
Mm-hmm.
bureaucracy.
It's just a subcommittee
It's
to
a
update the
subcommittee to-
bylaws
right.
and operating
And
procedures of the
shouldn't
investment
that be a
committee.
motion?
It's a subcommittee of the board.
According to the bylaws,
Subcommittee of
it's
the
just
board.
the chair
Right.
has just
To-
the ability to
Okay,
create
create
right,
it.
right.
Because I looked that up.
Yeah, I know, and actually we talked
So
about
that we can
I
then
looked that
create.
up too.
So again, it's not a big deal. There probably doesn't need to be a lot changed in here. But we just wanted to go through it and update it so that it matches our current positions on the board.
Exactly.
And anything else we find that might be in here, so, because we've changed a few things. Once we do that, then we can talk about forming a committee to get together, and then we can bring Cornerstone in, and they can, because I've talked to them about what they recommend, and their recommendation is something not quite as conservative as what we have right now. So, but we can't make any changes until we do this. This
So-
is step 1.
Just one thing before we dismiss off this so if we had the chair, vice chair, treasurer on for the committee, is that what we want as a board, or do we want more people on that?
That's what you're supposed to look at.
That's what we can talk about when we do this. So,
That's what your subcommittee is going to be looking
Keeping,
at.
keeping in mind the board is small enough as it is, and so, you don't really want to, you don't probably need a lot of people.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 people's probably.
No, I was just wanted to make sure that if that's what, I mean, this will be coming back to the board anyways.
yeah, oh, yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah, nothing, it's
Do we
all
need-
above board.
Do we need to move to approve the subcommittee for the
No.
subcommittee?
No, the chair can.
That's my authority. So, I'm doing it.
I would vote yay, for the record.
Because nothing, we just need to do this background bit before we can move forward. And the new one will have a date on it, so.
We'll have a date. And say
Cornerstone
it's
probably can
approved,
tell me
yeah.
when they did this. I don't know if they can or not, and which probably was the same time as this. But yeah, it just needs to be up to date.
Yeah, that doesn't have a date either.
No, that's what I'm saying. But
say,
they
it
can
doesn't have a date
probably look
either.
in their computer and see when it was done. At least I can look at my computer and see the date it was
And
created.
like I said, under the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Say
so-
one thing, just
yeah,
one footnote to
absolutely.
all
Go
of
ahead.
this, is that I think that the thing that would actually keep everything moving according to protocol is if we stipulate terms of office for the committees of the Finance Committee. So if we know people are serving for a specific amount of time and they assume office on a certain date and their term expires on a certain date, it requires us then, as a body, to ensure that we re-establish, reconfirm, and recommit ourselves to who's doing what. And I'm not
No,
saying any
that's
of
a
the
good
further details,
suggestion.
but
Yep.
I just know the terms of office do help.
Okay.
Right.
And thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else?
On this or on anything else?
We can, well, I was talking about the investment update.
Okay.
But do you, but, so if we're done with the new business, then I can open it up to any other new business.
Okay.
So we're done with investments? No other questions at this time?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll just move on to other new business. Natalie.
So this should have been under the treasurer's probably report, but I told Donna the taxes are done, and Bob sent an email to us we have to create an account and log in.
I have that.
Yeah. Oh,
For
okay.
myself, I had to do that last year.
Okay, so I'll have to do my own then, I suppose, and Donna will have to do her own, so
Yeah.
we can go in and approve.
Yeah.
So again, I think my recommendation would be getting a treasurer who will stay in the office for a period of time that they may be on the board, because it's a lot when it comes to tax season. It's not a lot during the whole year when it comes to the taxes and dealing with Bob. I think for his sake and his sanity, and maybe his sobriety, I don't know, but I'm just saying, I think it would be best for him if there was some continuity. It would make things a lot easier.
Also, the taxes, the year date stops in July. So I think that's sort of something that we should consider also after whoever's the treasurer next. It starts in July, so we can start preparing taxes in July. We don't, all the paperwork and stuff that we need to get done, we can sort of try to deliver that earlier.
Right.
To them.
Right. So that would be my recommendation. But Donna and I both need to just go in now, which I will do tomorrow, and we'll get that so that. Absolutely. And they asked for a transfer of funds over to the checking account, which I did so that he could be paid. So.
Oh, I thought, didn't you already pay him?
That was actually one of these checks, I think.
Yes.
No, I meant like last year. I thought that
yeah. Well, we pay
It's
him
for
every
now.
year.
Well, no, I meant like November.
Oh.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, he may have gotten something, but no, this was for the
Okay.
final.
Okay.
Mm.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so, and again, that was one of the other reasons why I wanted a notebook that would go to the next person coming in. So there's a little bit more continuity, people know what to expect. Things like these little hidden documents will be in one place. We just need to get a little more organized with what the roles are of each of the board members.
And maybe planning ahead a little bit better. I know Natalie has shared that she's not planning to run again this spring, and I don't actually know. I know Ken's up for re-election, and he is planning to run again. Is there anybody else who's
Julie?
Yeah, Julie's already got her papers
up for
back.
re-election.
Okay,
She's already got her signature page back in.
so there will be
One open seat.
One open
spot.
seat.
Well, the town has to vote them in.
There's 3 open spots.
Yeah, there's
Three
three
open
open
spots.
spots. There's
Right.
4
Open
people
spots.
running at this point. So
Right.
you can pull
But-
papers
2
until,
incumbents.
yeah, 2 incumbents.
Yeah,
Mhm.
2 incumbents.
But I guess my other thing would be to encourage the board members to engage a little bit more in the seats for the officers. Again, the treasurer definitely is going to need some attention, I think. Treasurer's position.
Yeah, and I think it would be useful, being on the email trail as I have been with everything, to, go through that and see all the things that Bob needed and, write that out. Here are the things that need to, and there's a difference between like what Ginny, our bookkeeper, has and what the board has, right? Because she doesn't have anything to do with the investments, so
Right.
she does not have that paperwork. So it really is incumbent upon the treasurer to be able to have those reports, or have Cornerstone send the reports in as well. So
And when the treasurer should get ready to do that. So, yeah, those are the kinds of things that I'd like to get organized a little bit better. I can, or if you have time, if you want to call Bob and see if he has a list of, he should, because he does it every year. He's been doing it for quite a while. So, all right, anything else under new business? Thank you for that,
You're
Natalie. No? Okay,
Make a motion to adjourn.
thank you. Second?
I'll second.
No one wants to leave. Okay.
I'll second.
I love you all too.
Thank
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much.
all right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
everybody. Don't forget me.